Hi everybody, I'm Christy with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am going to do the tag for the Crafty Maven giveaway. There are 13 questions, so I hope that you will bear with me. I apologize, I had filmed this, it was all set to go, I rewatched it, and you know what happened is you could hear my voice just fine, but it was completely blank, you couldn't see my face. So I'm redoing it. I am in my workout clothes, like I'm just about to work out and then have a shower and go to work. So I look horrible, but I need to get this done because it's coming up and we're doing it on Saturday. So I'm really excited for this. It was something I kind of put together, and Emma, who is a fellow Crafty Maven, really helped with some of the questions. So super appreciate all the help she's given, and we're just going to do this. I definitely suggest, if you really love this and you want to be a part of it, definitely make your own tag video. You can tag the Crafty Maven channel. We can add you to, like, we can do a separate playlist, or we can add you to this playlist, whatever the group decides to do. But if you want to be involved, do it. If you're a fellow Crafty Maven and you didn't get the chance to do it because of your scheduling, do it later if you want to do it. This is a completely just for fun thing. It's not supposed to be stressful or anything like that. So that's my little blurb there. Let me get into my questions. So the first question says, what do you love most about Crafty Maven? So for me, what I love is the sense of community and all the new friends I've made. I have watched so many of these gals for so long and loved their videos and just been so inspired by them. And for Hannah to come and like bring us all together was just amazing. And from that has stemmed a few other things, and it's been great. And I love our little group of gals, and I love everyone that watches us and everyone that comments. It's a fantastic community, and I'm just so appreciative to be a part of that. Question 2 is, do you scrap chronologically or just whatever piques your interest at the time? So for me, I do not scrapbook chronologically, but I file my scrapbook pages chronologically. So if you looked in my album, it's all chronological. Scrapbooking wise though, I just do whatever looks good, and the photo that speaks to me or the paper speaks to me and I find a photo for that. It's just whatever I feel like doing that day. So I am not a chronological scrapbooker in that sense. Do you scrap standing or sitting down? I think this is kind of a fun question. It'll be fun to see what people say. I personally am at the moment scrapping sitting. I used to be a standing scrapbooker though, and I find that I think I used to be faster when I was standing than now when I'm sitting. But I did that because my space kind of rotated and shifted over to our dining room table, kind of is now where I'm scrapping, and we don't use our dining room table to eat, so it worked out. And so that's kind of where I am now scrapping. But I used to have, and I still have it, I just haven't been using it to stand, this table that is right about like your standing height, and so it's perfect. It's the perfect table for standing to scrapbook. But I was noticing that because I scrapbook so much, I was standing too much, and it was just starting to bother me a little bit. And though I'm still quite young, I'm getting older, and I switched to sitting. Who knows, maybe I'll switch back. Question 4, what is more intimidating to you, using scraps or new sheets of pattern paper? So, you know, I was really thinking about this, and I don't know how to answer this, and it was one of my questions. So I think it's the cutting into new paper. I have so much brand new paper, and it's so pretty, and I can't wait to use it. But as I'm flipping through it, I'm like, oh, it's too pretty. You guys say that a lot too, I'm sure. It's so pretty, I don't want to touch it. So I find something else, and that tends to be something I've already cut up because I'm like, oh, I can use this. So I think I'm more intimidated to use my new sheets of paper than my scraps. However, that being said, I have a scrap bin that is very full of scraps, and I'm not using it. I am starting to work through it, especially because October I'm not going to be spending any money, so I will be using all of my stash up. Well, not all of it, but as much of it as I can. So I'm hoping that my scraps will get used up in that process. Number 5, do you use only one collection or mix it up? And you are allowed to consider a kit, if you're a part of a kit club, a collection, just so you know the reference there for you. I'm not a part of any kit clubs. That's not my thing, though they're beautiful and amazing. If I got a kit, I would literally just separate it and it would be pointless. So I might as well just buy what I want and go from there. I, however, do not scrapbook in a collection. It's not normally my style. I like to mix things up. You will find I use the same like manufacturer, so a lot of crepe paper will all be on one layout, but it'll be different collections. Now, this being said, Caddy and I have just started a new series called Obsessed with Caddy and Christy, talking about using one collection and working with the same stuff. So I'm trying to use a collection, but still, even just that, it's still, if you look at my layouts that I've done for it, or I will be doing for it, there's still stuff from other companies sneaked onto the page. I cannot just use one collection. Those that can, I applaud you, because your pages look amazing and it's very cohesive, but I just can't do it. So the next question is, what is your favorite day on the Crafty Maven? So I love all of them. They're all so much fun. But actually for me, mine is the Sunday. I love the Spotlight Sunday and getting to know everyone just a little bit more. I know that we're all starting to really know each other, and it's like we're this big, huge online community and we're all really good friends, and I love that. But we still don't know everything about each other. So it's fun to just get to know a little bit more, hear how they describe their style and all of that. So Sunday is definitely my favorite. What scrappy supply are you obsessed with? Oh, that's such a good question. I love this question. There's many, but I think my number one is the, I don't know what to say with this one. My favorite scrappy supply that I am obsessed with is overlays. That's definitely overlays and frames. I love to add photo overlays, but not necessarily onto the photo, just on the page. And the same with frames. They never actually, very rarely do they end up on the photo themselves. It's to tuck in a layering piece, but they're all so pretty and there's so many options and they're so pretty. So I really love to use that. And then the next question says, what element do you just have to add to every page to consider it done? And for me, it's not so much an element as much as it is just me writing journaling. I am a huge journaler. I love to tell my stories and make sure they're on there. So if my layout doesn't have journaling, I don't consider it done. So I know it's a little bit cheating because it's not an element, but it's an element to my page. So I'm considering it that done. Let's see, the next question says, what trend are you just over or you don't understand in scrapbooking? Flamingos. I do not understand why you would put a flamingo on a page. And I've seen layouts where it's done, and honestly, they look great. I just can't justify putting a flamingo on my page. I don't get it. I don't. And even going to the zoo, I don't take pictures of flamingos. Like, maybe I would, but maybe that's the only time a flamingo's gone on my page is if I take a picture of a flamingo. I don't get it. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but I don't understand the flamingo thing. And the other thing is, when that chalkboard effect was really popular, I never used it. I didn't really like it. I don't know. It just reminded me, I guess, for like a school layout maybe, but I never used it, and I didn't understand that trend over either, and I was very, very happy when that trend was over because I kind of got sick of seeing some of those pages. Okay, next question is, what is that one embellishment that took you forever to use? And I actually have my layout here for you. So it is this little piece right here, and it is from the, I think it's 9 & Co. I believe that was what it's from. But it's a floral piece, and I absolutely loved it the second I got it, and I couldn't wait to use it. And I tried about at least 15 layouts to get it on one of my layouts, and it never, ever, ever worked. I couldn't get it. So I finally was doing one of my lifted episodes that I do with Jen Stokes, and it got on the page. So I was super happy about that, and I did a little happy dance, and yay! And so that was that one that, oh, I drove me nuts. I kept trying to put it on and I really loved it and I wanted to use it and it was not working. Ugh. But it's on now, so I'm happy about that. Okay, 3 more questions. So the 11th question is, be honest, do you pre-plan your videos? So this is kind of more for like, because we submit videos to the Crafty Maven channel, and my answer is yes, I do pre-plan my videos, because if I didn't, you would be watching a 3-hour long process video. That is sometimes how long it takes me to scrap. I am a very slow scrapper, in part because I don't sit down and create a layout in one sitting. It takes me multiple sittings with just how my lifestyle is. I have, he will be 2 in January, so he's still not quite a toddler yet, but he sure acts like one. And life gets busy and he interrupts, and I love that he interrupts. I love to interact with him, so I put my scrapbooking aside and I get to be with my family and do all of that. But it does eat up some of my scrapbooking time, and nothing ever happens in one sitting. So, and then I like to really think about things and I overanalyze, and I'm just like that. So to sit down and do a process video and not pre-plan to film it, I'm serious, you would fall asleep by the time you got to the end of my video. So I do pre-plan my videos. And number 12 is, what are your non-scrappy hobbies? So I have a feeling a lot of us are going to say the same thing, because we tend to be in the same junction of, like, we're all scrappy, and I'm finding that we all really enjoy reading as well. So I am one of those. I love to read. Unfortunately, this year hasn't been very I'm trying to think of the word and it's not coming to me, but it just hasn't happened. So 2016, one of my main goals is I'm reading, and I know this seems like a really small number to some people, but I'm reading 5 books, and if I get through those 5 books, I'm gonna be so happy, because it takes me a while. I'm a bit of a slow reader because, again, life happens and I get interrupted, so I don't tend to read. And with the way my schedule goes, I have to be up. My son is an early bird, so I'm up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, if not earlier. And then some days I work until 7, and then I'm home. I spend some time with Sean, and while we put Jackson to bed, and then we get to spend some adult time together. And honestly, by like 9 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done, I'm ready for bed. And so I sit, watch some YouTube videos, and fall asleep. So reading just doesn't fit into my day all the time. And the very last question says, has being a Crafty Maven member changed your scrapbooking? And very simply, the answer is yes. I find that watching all the different videos, I'm learning some really fun new techniques. I have even ventured into doing mixed media, which I was so afraid of and timid about, and I'm starting to add little bits here and there. I'm still not a very heavy mixed media gal. I don't do a lot of it, but I'm slowly getting into it. So that, and I love watching the art journaling. I am not artistic in that type of way, but it does kind of make me want to do one, even though I'm not. So it definitely has changed my scrapbooking. I am learning new things every time I watch a new process video, and I just love it. I love this channel. I love everything about it. So those are the 13 questions. Thanks so much for hanging with me and listening to all of them. There's going to be a playlist with all of us, so I will have that linked under mine, and I will be a part of the playlist as well, so if you want to check that out. And if you want to make your own video, I highly recommend you do it, and tag the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. Bye everyone!